What's up, guys? So today we're going to be looking at this video of this girl who has apparently had 13 plastic surgeries. She says her life gets better after 13 plastic surgeries. So, you know, let's see how this video starts off.
There is absolutely no doubt that the happiest moment in a mom's life is the moment when she finally gets to meet her newborn baby.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. I mean, kids are kind of a pain in the ass, but I mean, when they're first born, they're pretty sweet. Moms love them, so I mean, gotta kind of agree with that.
But for my mom, that moment turned out to be the beginning of a very long nightmare. She definitely wasn't expecting to be handed a freaky looking monster of a baby.
What the fuck was that thing? It was like Bigfoot or some shit. Like, what the fuck? That was probably the ugliest thing I think I've ever seen, animated or not animated. That's like disgusting. That thing needs to be euthanized immediately.
Like most moms, she was probably expecting to see a cute little angel, a normal child. But that was not what happened at all. Hello, I'm Sandra, the freaky looking monster.
You're goddamn right. You're a freaky fucking monster. Jesus fucking Christ, look at you. Oh my god, you have hair growing out of your fucking like. You have a beard. You have fucking. Oh my god, you have purple hair, which is like does not help. I used to have purple hair and I regretted it immensely. Now my hair is light blue and I fucking love it because blue is my favorite color. So anyway, like I was saying, fucking freak needs to be put down. Anything else on the list, guys? Oh yeah, absolutely fucking disgusting.
My mom always wanted to start a family, but my dad was hell bent on not having kids. My mom didn't really understand why, but she also never even asked him. After I was born, their life turned upside down. The perfect family that my mom had envisioned turned out to be nothing but a lifelong curse. When my mom first laid eyes on me, she screamed her head off. "Get that thing away from me! This thing can't be my daughter!"
Imagine that. Imagine your parents fucking rejecting you at fucking birth. Like, if you're that ugly, you are like you should have fucking died. Like, it's. I'm sorry, but like, what the fuck? Like, let's think about it for a second. Like, if you are just born and the nurse hands you to your parents and your mom fucking starts screaming and like, what the fuck is this thing? Then you obviously have some severe fucking problems and probably should be fucking abandoned.
To be honest, I don't blame her. I was really ugly, like probably the butt ugliest baby ever to be born. And when I say ugly, I'm not saying it for attention or so that people will tell me, "No, you're not, blah, blah, blah." No, like seriously, there isn't a single sane person who could ever think I'm anything but ugly. Trust me on this one. After I was born, my mom left me in the hospital and didn't take me with her. Can you believe that?
To be honest, yeah, I kind of can believe that. Like, if I had a kid, if I was somehow able to get pregnant and I gave birth, if I birthed something that fucking ugly, then I would definitely leave it at the fucking hospital. I'd put that shit up for adoption immediately. Like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm so confused right now. So, like, she's talking about how she had 13 plastic surgeries or something like that in the video title, but here she is blabbing about how ugly she is over and over and over again. Like, we don't need her telling us she's ugly. I can obviously see she's absolutely disgusting.
But my dad couldn't bear to leave me there. Not because he felt sorry for me, but because he knew no one in their right mind would ever want to adopt such an ugly baby. So he went back to the hospital to fetch me and take me home. No one actually believed that they were my parents. My mom was a model, and so was my dad, and that's how they met in the first place. A few months after I was born, my grandmother came to visit us. Once she saw me, she screamed, "Jesus Christ, there is a devil inside that girl!" She immediately called a pastor, and once he arrived, he started to pray and chant all sorts of hymns that he believed were able to cast out the evilest of demons. But nothing worked.
Damn, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit sorry for this girl. Like, her mom doesn't love her. Her grandma like thinks she's a demon. The pastor thinks she's a demon. She's not accepted wherever she goes. And I'm not saying she's like not ugly or anything, because she's fucking hideous. But like, I feel a little bit bad for her because like, how did she get that bad like those bad genes? Like her mom was a model, her dad was a model. Like, how did that happen?
I even slept with a cross in my lap. He definitely managed to cast out every demon in town that night, but nothing happened to me because there wasn't actually anything wrong with my body or soul. I was just ugly. It's as simple as that. When I was growing up, I had no problem making friends with other girls because they figured that having an ugly friend hanging around would make them look even more beautiful. Me being friends with them was like doing them a favor. However, when it came to attracting male friends or a boyfriend, well, that was a big problem. I'd see all my friends going on dates and they'd come back and tell me all the steamy, romantic details, but eventually they stopped telling me about their love lives because they were afraid it would make me jealous. They thought I'd, cast a spell over them or do voodoo or something. And so that's why, a few years down the road, I was left with not a friend in the world.
Damn, I feel really bad for her. Like, I was making fun of her at first, calling her ugly and shit, but, not having friends is, a serious thing. People, mental health is a serious thing. And, I used to not have a whole lot of friends. I used to go through that a lot. I mean, I have friends now because I'm, popular as fuck. But, think about it. If you have no friends and, people are telling you about, their love lives and shit, and you're just over here just chilling, just yeah, alright, I'm ugly as fuck, but, nothing I can do about it. Because, life's life. That kind of fucking sucks, and that would bring you down. That would make you really fucking upset. So, I can kind of, relate to her being fucking lonely, but, not the ugly bit, because, I'm not that fucking ugly. I'm pretty hideous, but, not that fucking ugly.
My mom did everything she could possibly think of to try to transform me from an ugly girl to an okay-looking girl. She taught me how to wear makeup and took me with her to the gym so that I could tone my body. She even bought me the most expensive clothes. But it was all for nothing. As for my dad, he tried to work on helping me develop my personality. He always used to say to me, "It is much more important for a girl to be smart and nice to others than to have a beautiful face." I have no idea why he even expected me to buy any of the crap that he was saying. I know for a fact that he only chose my mom because of her looks. Every time I passed a mirror, I'd almost jump out of my skin. That face looking back at me was the reason I had such a hard life. But it was my face, and I was stuck with it, and there was nothing I could do.
Or, you could just get a million plastic surgeries and look like your parents, look like a model. But, think about it. Plastic surgeries are super fucking expensive. I know I wouldn't be able to afford one. I want a nose job because my nose is fucked up. But, think about it. That would cost so much money, and this girl probably doesn't even have a job. So, how would she possibly pay for it? Well, I mean, her parents probably could, because, they're models and everything, and I think models make a lot of money. I don't know. I'm not even close to being a model, because I'm pretty fucking hideous myself. But, I don't know. Just, how would, I'm so lost for words right now. Because, she's fucking ugly. She has no fucking friends. The pastor hates her. Her grandma hates her. Her mom, well, her mom's kind of turning around. But, damn, that kind of sucks.
I had to accept that fact and make peace with it. As an attempt to get on with things, I posted my picture on my Facebook account for the first time ever. I didn't have enough guts to wait for what was going to happen next, so I turned my phone off and went to sleep. When I woke up the next day, I was greeted with the shock of my life. I discovered that half of my friends had unfriended me, and there were more awful comments on my photo than I could count.
Bro, that's fucking crazy, though. Think about, all your friends, all the friends that you, have left, unfriend you because you posted your face on social media. That's fucking horrible. I don't post my face on, my YouTube channel or my, Instagram. I always wear a mask. Because, one, I just don't want my face on the internet. And two, because, I'm, pretty not fucking, I'm not good looking myself. So, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that's kind of fucking fucked up. That's pretty, that's, borderline cyberbullying. And, leaving mean comments is cyberbullying. And that's real shit. Mental health is not a fucking joke.
Comments such as, "The only Disney princess you could be is Shrek." What the hell? Have we been invaded by aliens or something? The head of a beast on the body of a beauty. Enough with the Photoshop tricks already, for God's sake. And many, many more even harsher comments. I deleted my photo and threw myself onto my bed and cried my eyes out. Why had I done something so stupid? My ugly face needed to be hidden away. I mean, if I couldn't stand seeing my own face, why did I think other people would be okay with it? A few months later, my phone beeped. I received a Facebook message from a guy named Jack. The message said, "Why did you delete your picture? It was beautiful."
Alright, guys, so we definitely got someone who's a little bit desperate here. Either it's trolling or it's just super desperate. I mean, think about it. Like, if she's that ugly and the first, like, you know, 10 minutes have just been her talking about how ugly she is, then, like, why the hell would anyone, if she's as ugly as she says she is, then why would anyone hit her up and be like, yo, you're beautiful? Like, that person has to be, like, on drugs or deranged or, like, something crazy, because, like, I don't think anyone would do that.
"No, it wasn't. It was freaking ugly," I replied. "Fine, you are ugly, whatever you say. But do you want to date me?" he replied. At first, I thought that he was just pulling my leg, just like everybody else. However, he kept on insisting that I should go out with him. It seemed like he was actually into me, and it felt so damn good, I won't lie. But I didn't know what the right decision was. I had no friends to ask, so I asked my family. At dinner that night, I looked at my mom and said, "Hey, Mom, there is a guy that wants to go on a date with me. Should I say yes?" She laughed and continued eating. "That wasn't a damn joke, by the way," I said in a sharp tone. Mom turned to my dad and said, "Shit, why do I have to be the one to have this conversation with her?" Then she turned to me and said, "Listen, darling, to put it bluntly, you're hella ugly and there is no guy out there who would ever want to marry you. Never mind taking you out on a pity date. Come on, get a grip."
Whoa, what the fuck? That turned very quickly. Her mom kept buying her shit to make her feel better and try to make her look more beautiful. And now she's going like all like sicko mode and being like, "You're ugly as shit. No one ever would want to go on a date with you, not even a pity date. Like, no one will ever marry you. You're going to be lonely for the rest of your life, yada, yada, yada." Like, holy shit. That's probably like the worst thing a parent could say to their, well, I mean, that's probably not the worst thing, but one of the worst things a parent could say to their child. Like, no one will ever love you, and like, you're ugly, and like, that's not something you just say to a kid. Like, that ruins, like, I mean, that could mess up their entire life, just that like one thing. So like, holy shit, man, that was rough.
I couldn't believe that woman. I thought that she would be happy for me, for the fact that I'd finally found someone who wanted to date me. But no, instead she continued to ridicule me. Well, I couldn't contain my anger. I smacked the table with both hands and screamed in her face, "You old hag! You bitch!" But my dad cut me off before I could finish my sentence. "That guy probably wants to date you because he knows you come from money, that's all. I mean, come on, Sandra, let's be real here for a minute. It isn't like he actually likes you. Sooner or later, he will treat you like a pile of rubbish. Your mom was just trying to be honest with you. That guy you were speaking of won't be marrying you anytime soon. You're ugly. It's time to accept that once and for all." Was this really happening? My family was talking to me like I was made out of stone. They didn't give a shit about my feelings. The only person that actually cared about my feelings was Jack, I thought to myself. I left that crazy house of mine and texted Jack. "Meet me in half an hour in the sushi restaurant. It's now or never." He replied, "See you there."
I sense a troll coming on. I feel like he's gonna fucking troll her and not show up. Or it's gonna be one of her friends being like, "Haha, you're fucking ugly," or like some shit like that. Because the way her parents put it and the way she's putting it, she's pretty fucking ugly. Like, let's be real. And so I just want to like not be an asshole for a second and realize that, you know, she has feelings and everything. But when you're that ugly and you expect someone to go on a date with you, it's kind of like just not a realistic thing. Like, the nowadays people look for looks, not like people go for looks and not like attitude or like personality. Like, if you got like tits and an ass, guys will just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna date you." Or like, if guys are like tall and play sports but can be completely fucking stupid and like just idiots, then like, I'll date you. As long, I mean, if these days, this day, and that fuck my life. These days, if you're pretty, then someone's gonna date you, and if you're ugly, someone's not. That's just kind of how it works.
I waited for 3 long hours, but no one showed up. My cell phone died, and there I sat, an ugly chick all alone in a sushi restaurant, not ordering anything, waiting for a guy that was clearly never going to show up. I could hear everyone around me whispering about how ugly I was. I put my head on the table and cried. And then I felt someone put his hand on my shoulder. For a moment, I thought that person was Jack, but it was the waiter. He told me to get out of there if I wasn't planning on ordering anything. So I left. The whole way home, all I could think about was what my mom and dad had said to me earlier. Maybe they were right after all. I didn't reply to any of Jack's messages and didn't even try to read his reasons for not showing up. From that day on, I decided that I needed to become a new Sandra.
I don't see why she didn't think of this before. Like, if you're ugly, like nowadays, people are just like, oh, plastic surgery, nose job, dye your hair, wear different clothes. But like, she didn't immediately go to that. And that's what kind of confuses me, is because like, when I looked at my nose and realized that it was a little bit bent, and I've never broken my nose, it's just kind of like that. Then I was like, oh, nose job. But like, I wonder why she didn't immediately go to like, oh, get plastic surgery, get like facial reconstruction, something like that. Like that's kind of weird that now she's just thinking about it.
A few weeks later, I graduated. I was finally 18, which meant I could go visit a plastic surgeon. At first, I was terrified, but my dad encouraged me and even paid for all the surgeries that I got. I was so surprised. He was acting kind of hypocritical. He used to go on about how a girl's personality was more important, but now he was paying for my plastic surgeries? Well, whatever. As long as I was finally going to look half decent, that's all that mattered. You might be wondering about how many surgeries I had. Well, I had 13 in total.
Holy shit, 13 plastic surgeries? I mean, I knew that from the beginning of the title, but like, think about that. You know how expensive that'd be? So I was right earlier. Like, models do make a lot of money, but like, holy shit, that's expensive. Like 13 plastic surgeries. Damn. Like, she's gonna look like a fucking queen. Like, she's gonna look fucking incredible. And all her friends are gonna be like, holy shit, I should have stayed friends with her. Nah, 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 nah. And they're gonna complain and crawl back to her and be like, oh my god, you're so beautiful. You got like tits and an ass now. Someone's gonna date you. And I would be like, nah, fam. Holy shit, well at least she looks like a fucking queen now. She looks fucking beautiful. But yeah guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, thumbs up the video. And if you can do that fast enough, you will win your very own 3-legged elephant. That's right, 3-legged elephant. I don't know how it's gonna stand up, I don't know where you're gonna put it, but you're gonna get one. Alright? Peace guys.